Hello everyone, welcome back. Let's do another law of attraction video since we're on the topic already. So I want to speak a little bit about the topic of neediness and desperation and how it fits in with the law of attraction. So I think neediness and coming across as being desperate to the universe is a large reason why people fail at manifesting certain things. I'll use the example of a friend of mine. This friend of mine is a male friend who was in a relationship with my best friend at a stage. She's no longer my best friend, but that's a story for another time. So this male friend of mine, he has had terrible luck when it comes to love and relationships. He's currently at an age where most of his friends are having kids and starting families, falling in love, getting married, whatnot. And he really wants to be in a relationship. He desperately wants a girlfriend. You see my choice of words? Desperately. So this friend of mine always contacts me for advice on his love life, and he asks me, what should I do? I've just met this girl and her zodiac sign is this, and do we make a good match? And he summarizes the whole thing so quickly that I don't know. I sometimes just want to, shake him and say, you know what, don't you think this is going a bit too fast? That's how desperate he is, no jokes. Okay, so I do have a soft spot for this friend of mine, and I really care about him. But, I give him the same advice over and over again, and he just doesn't seem to want to follow it. So I think the problem is that this friend is not a very spiritual type of person. He's not spiritual at all, and I think that no matter how many times I tell him about the law of attraction, I think it just falls on deaf ears because he doesn't believe in it. Okay, so you can't force someone to believe in something if they don't. I think he's very skeptical about the whole concept of the law of attraction, even though I've given him multiple examples of how the law of attraction has worked for me in my life. Anyway, so like I said, he hasn't been taking my advice seriously, and I found that in his love life there's a certain cycle that's just being repeated over and over again, and that's because he is not going about it in the correct way. Okay, so what I always tell him, what I keep telling him, is that why he is not going into a relationship or why he's not finding a girlfriend is because he is literally sending out signs of neediness and desperation to the universe. And whether he believes it or not, the universe hears everything and receives everything. Whatever you send out to the universe gives back to you. We've spoken about it already. So this friend of mine, on his Facebook, he actually makes fun of himself on his Facebook page, and he jokes about that he's going to be single for the rest of his life. And it's many words said in jest because it's not actually a joke. He is literally creating his own reality without even realizing it. Okay, so there was this thing on Facebook, post your soulmate challenge, and literally this guy posted a series of blank images. I was like, oh my soul, how can you do that? Like, you are literally telling the universe that you don't have a soulmate. You are destined to be alone forever, and you're okay with it because you're joking about it. Obviously he doesn't see it in that way, I must say that another thing that he's doing wrong with this whole manifesting love thing is that he hasn't actually considered the idea of self-love fully. Like, he will tell me things like, Amy, I can't find a girlfriend. There must be something wrong with me. Am I that bad? Like, what is wrong with me? Am I doing something wrong? What is lacking? Like, why am I not good enough? And that is negative self-talk, and the universe hears that, okay? Not with literal ears, but you get what I'm saying. So the other thing about this guy is that he literally jinxes a new relationship before it's even started. So he will send me a message and say that he's just met a new lady or new chick or girl or whatever, and he'll send me a message saying that, you know, he'd been messaging her the whole day and she's not been responding to his messages. And I'll say, you know what, just give it some time, give it a chance, because, you know, it's a fairly new thing. She could be busy, she has a job, just wait. But no, he'll go ahead and say, oh, I knew it was too good to be true. You know, I shouldn't have trusted it from the start. And he's even gone so far as to say that if his recent relationship, or if his most recent relationship doesn't work out, he's gonna like pull out and become a monk. Okay, he's not gonna go into any other relationships ever. Like, this is his last resort. So in terms of the law of attraction, he is doing everything wrong when it comes to manifesting love. And probably when I speak to him, it feels like I'm preaching to him. I must add that, you know, we all make mistakes and we all have flaws, and I have flaws too. I mean, I'm not perfect. I know very well that certain things in my life are not working out the way they should because of my flawed thinking. But the thing with this friend of mine is that he doesn't realize that his thinking is flawed. So what I'm trying to say here is that if you are sending a message of neediness out to the universe will send that right back to you. So if you are telling the universe that you feel like you're going to be single forever, then boom, that's what will happen. If you're making fun of being single and saying like, oh, I'm so used to being single that, you know, by now it's like second nature to me, then boom, the universe hands it to you on a silver platter, almost. So neediness and desperation do not tie in with the law of attraction. So ultimately, the advice that I've given this friend of mine is to sit with a pen and paper and write down all of the things about himself that he's not happy with. So things that he would maybe want to change about himself, things that he needs to work on, things that he needs to accept about himself in order to go forward. Because you can't go into another relationship if you feel like you are not good enough being by yourself. If you feel like there's something very wrong with you when in fact there's nothing wrong with you at all, then that's not good. You need to take that as a starting point and work on yourself first. And then I told him that he needs to ask himself why he's still single. He needs to try and pinpoint what it is that makes him feel like he desperately needs to be with someone. You know, he needs to find that void that can't be filled by jumping into a relationship. He needs to discover what it is about himself that makes him feel like he can't be alone, like he needs someone to complete him before he can move on. And I think finally my words are starting to sink in a bit, because, you know, he's actually looked at my messages and he's actually opened my voice notes. So let's see what happens. But this was just an example. Okay, there are many examples. And all I can say is that neediness and desperation do not tie in with the law of attraction. So if you are saying that you desperately want something, you can't do without it, then, you know, the universe is like, okay, I hear you. Good. Okay, I hope my video made some sense to everyone. And thanks again for watching. And I hope you guys are all keeping well. Bye for now.